What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Israel Adesanya back training for rematch with Alex Pereira. After Israel Adesanya lost the middleweight title to Alex Pereira in the main event of UFC 281, an immediate rematch was revealed by UFC President Dana White during the post-fight press conference. Although Pereira is now technically 3-0 over Adesanya across two combat sports, the last Stylebender's run as a UFC champion is more than enough to warrant an immediate rematch. Although no date has been given for the potential fight, Adesanya posted footage to his Instagram story where he can be seen working on his grappling. As a coach with mitts presses him, the former champion can be seen working on his takedown setups. The footage drew quite a bit of attention online, as fans quickly pointed out that Adesanya was able to control the former two-division Glory kickboxing champion on the ground in the first fight. With a more grappling-focused game plan in the rematch, the last Stylebender could wind up using his skills on the ground to edge out a decision win. On the flip side of things, however, with Glover Teixeira in his camp, Alex Pereira will undoubtedly be working on his grappling as well, after he struggled with Adesanya on the ground in his first fight. As a rematch between the two looms on the horizon in the year ahead, we want to hear from you. How do you see the Pereira versus Adesanya rematch playing out? Will the last Stylebender finally be able to secure a win against his longtime rival thanks to his grappling, or will Pereira once again prove to be too much for him? Give us your predictions in the comments section below. Aljamain Sterling teases move to 145 pounds. Bantamweight kingpin Aljamain Sterling is fresh off a dominant victory over TJ Dillashaw, who went into the fight with a pretty severe shoulder injury. After dispatching of the former champ, Sterling set his sights on a short layoff before returning to the octagon. With the summer return on the horizon, both Sterling and Henry Cejudo's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, indicated that a deal for the Funkmaster to fight Triple C was all but finalized. After that fight takes place, the champion could be destined for 145 pounds. After news of a clash between Corey Sandhagen and Marlon Chito Vera broke this week, Sterling took to Twitter to question why his teammate Merab Dvalishvili wasn't getting a big fight. Fans in his replies were quick to respond, pointing out that there was no point in Dvalishvili getting a fight that moves him closer to a title shot when the two men have stated before that they have no intentions of fighting one another. Sterling then flipped the script, revealing that he is planning to move up to 145 pounds after the fight with Cejudo. Despite that and his targeted summer return, the Funkmaster then responded to Sugar Sean O'Malley's coach, Tim Welsh, who asked when the champion was fighting Triple C. Sterling responded by explaining that he doesn't know whether or not Cejudo is even capable of making the 135-pound bantamweight title fight limit, given that he asked if Sugar Sean was available in March. O'Malley, of course, is eagerly awaiting to find out when the two are going to clash. As he explained recently, with the Sterling vs. Cejudo fight on the horizon, he's left with the tough decision to either sit and wait for his crack at the belt or risk his #1 contender status by taking a fight in the meantime. Do you think Sterling will really move up to featherweight after his next fight? Give us your thoughts in the comments section below. Chael Sonnen believes Nate Diaz could be headed back to the UFC. Stockton superstar Nate Diaz has been playing his cards close to the vest in regards to his next move. After becoming the first man in the UFC to submit Tony Ferguson, Diaz then set his sights on his future. As he revealed during his post-fight Octagon interview, he was planning to return to the UFC eventually, but not before he went and competed in various other combat sports. When Diaz became a free agent, the speculation was that he was eyeing a money fight with Jake Paul, something UFC President Dana White said Diaz assured him he wouldn't do. He was then pictured with the royal couple of the WWE, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, creating speculation that he could make an appearance at the upcoming WrestleMania event in California. At the same time, Ryzen head Nobuyuki Sakakibara expressed interest in seeing Diaz box Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition bout. In addition, BKFC president David Feldman expressed his confidence that Diaz would sign with his promotion. With so much up in the air, it's hard to predict just what route Diaz will go. The way former two-division title challenger Chael Sonnen sees things, the most likely scenario is that Diaz re-signs with the UFC. He spoke about the situation on the MMA Hour, saying,
that they do. And you want to know what Nate Diaz is going to do next? Unknown. Okay, great, Chael. Why? Well, when I tell you unknown, what I'm trying to say is all options are on the table, but that option is also to return to the UFC and to fight Conor McGregor. But a return is also on the table. In fact, I think it's leading the charge of what's possible.
No way.
Although Diaz never shied away from speaking out against the UFC over the years, Dana White was filmed backstage exchanging pleasantries with him after the win over Ferguson, telling the fan favorite that the UFC is his house, and if there's anything he needs, he should just reach out. The Stockton superstar responded by telling White that they should hang out sometime, indicating to fans that the two are on good terms. Do you think Diaz will return to the octagon, or will he sign elsewhere? Give us your predictions in the comments below. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love, and be sure to subscribe to the MMA Zone for all of the latest news. Jon Anik doesn't think Dustin Poirier needs undisputed title for his legacy. Dustin Poirier is widely believed to be one of the best fighters in the sport. He holds the unique distinction of being on the official UFC pound-for-pound ladder, despite not being a champion. With a stellar record that has seen him beat some of the best lightweights in the history of the sport, one thing has managed to elude the diamond: an undisputed title. In his first title fight, Poirier lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov by a rear naked choke, bringing an end to a dominant run that saw him claim the interim lightweight belt. 2 years later, he was squaring off with Charles Oliveira for the lightweight title at UFC 269, where he again lost via rear naked choke. After the fight, many questioned whether Poirier would return to the octagon again. With a booming hot sauce business, nobody would have blamed him for walking away. Despite that, he returned to fight Michael Chandler almost exactly a year later, picking up a submission win to cement his place as a top contender in the division. With fans eager to see him return once more in the hopes of moving one step closer to an undisputed title, Jon Anik sees things differently. He spoke in an interview with MMA Fighting, saying,
I don't even know how to be articulate when talking about Dustin Poirier, right? Like, I just want to call him an effing gangster and just say, oh my effing God, this guy, man, you know, durability, focus, boxing fundamentals. Gosh, I mean, if you're in an alley, don't you want that guy, bro? Like, Dustin Poirier is incredible. I don't even think he needs an undisputed UFC lightweight championship at this point in time to prove any sort of greatness, right?
With Poirier sitting in the number 2 spot on the lightweight ladder and Islam Makhachev set to defend his title against Alexander Volkanovski, many believe that a rematch between Oliveira and Poirier for number 1 contender status needs to be on tap for 2023. What do you think? Give us your thoughts in the comments below. Khamzat Chimaev corners Ramzan Kadyrov's son to victory in controversial MMA debut. Khamzat Chimaev found himself in hot water once again this week when he was seen cornering Ali Kadyrov, the son of infamous dictator Ramzan Kadyrov, in his MMA debut. Ali competed in his first pro bout on the ACA 150 card, where he picked up an incredibly controversial TKO victory while landing ground and pound strikes. After the fight was stopped, Chimaev was seen raising Kadyrov's hand in victory. Unsurprisingly, footage of the fight and subsequent finish went viral on Twitter, as fans pointed out that Kadyrov really wasn't landing any damaging strikes that would ordinarily force a referee to stop the fight. Longtime reporter Karim Zidan, who has continued to cover the tyranny of Ali Kadyrov's father, was quick to post the footage on Twitter. Fight fans were quick to call out the legitimacy of the fight, as some pointed to a highly suspicious boxing match Kadyrov organized for his son last year that Ali also won. John Danaher black belt Stephen Williams even went so far as to call the fight a circus. After the win, Chimaev took to Instagram to praise Ali, calling the Chechen his brother and lauding him for demonstrating excellent fighting skills and determination to win. In the comments congratulating Ali was none other than former UFC champion Cody Garbrandt, who recently traveled to Chechnya to train with Ali Kadyrov in anticipation of his pro debut. Chimaev has long drawn criticism for his connections to Kadyrov. The streaking contender has time and time again been photographed and filmed alongside the dictator, who is currently facing sanctions from the United States government. Today's video was packed with some juicy stories from the fight world. What are your thoughts about what's going on in MMA? Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the MMA Zone to see more videos just like this. See you next time.